Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry, and with me now, as he kind of always is, it's my co-host, Kyle.
What's up, guys?
Also known as, well, you've got a new name online, too, Kyle.
Yeah.
Do we want to go ahead and introduce that to the people?
Sure, why not? It kind of came out of the blue.
No kidding.
And I just thought, I was like, I need to make like a whiskey content channel just for me and for you guys to follow to keep up to date with kind of what I'm doing. So it is called Corking Off with Kyle.
Yeah.
At Corking Off everywhere. So
because,
YouTube,
and I'm imagining part of it was because Corksuckers was taken.
well, I don't know. I just thought it was very funny. And I just rolled with it.
I like it a lot.
There was a suggestion to go with Whiskey Cummings. Obviously, you know where it started from, and then it kind of merged into somewhere else. Because I think that Instagram page makes me laugh every time I say it out loud.
Right.
But I don't know if anyone else does.
I mean, I think it does exactly. You have done exactly what needed to be done in this case, which is towing the line.
yeah.
I think you've hit it. You've hit it perfectly on the head.
I felt like any further and it would have been a bad thing, but
exactly. So
I think it's gonna work.
If you haven't yet followed Corking Off, please go do so. Links in the description. Anyway, we kick off every episode of the podcast with a segment known as Flying Blind. And this week, we are doing Flying Blind in a way we have never done it before because we are recording remotely, as we will kind of be doing from time to time when Kyle is co-hosting, of course. We have each poured ourselves a whiskey, and the other does not know what it is. And we are going to do a version of 20 questions or 10 questions, depending on time, to see who can guess what the other person's pour is first. Now, I want to set up some kind of like ground rules in terms of like, just outright asking, I feel like it would be too easy if we just go, is this a bourbon? Is this a rye? Is this a scotch?
Oh, I don't know. I think
we have to work our way there.
That. Okay.
Like we can get there towards the end.
So like 9 and 10 could be that if we haven't
exactly.
All right.
But there has to be more like creativity in the way that we get there. Right? Sure. So say like my first question could be, does this whiskey come from a distillery with a master distiller that has been there longer than a decade?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. See where I'm coming from?
Sure.
And if we have to look up some answers, that's fine. We'll take as much or as little time as we need to. But I think it's going to be a fun, different take on Flying Blind for the time being. It's also not going to be the only way that we do it. Of course, this is something that I've kind of been percolating on for a little while, and based on the time constraints that we had for this week, I wanted to give this one a go. So
consider this first run kind of a wet, dry run.
Yeah, exactly.
If you will.
We've never done this before, and you guys are experiencing this with us.
Hope you like it.
So here we go.
Yeah, let's try it
out. Kyle, would you like to ask the first question for my Flying Blind pour?
Oh, I already have one immediately looking at the color. Is it double barreled?
No.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Well, I need a sip of
Um,
water too. Should we go back and forth, or do you want to just
I think we should go one at a time. That way we don't get lost on how many questions we've done.
That's fair.
All
Okay.
right. If it's not double barreled, is this a new release
Define new release.
within the last 18 months?
No.
Okay. Is it cask strength?
Yes.
Is it age stated?
Not this particular release.
Where's it? 4. Is it from a heritage distillery?
Yes.
Dang, I don't know. I'm trying to think through it. Heritage distillery, cask strength, non-age stated, not a new release, but it's a release that you're suggesting.
Uh-huh.
I think I might be going down a decent road. Should I ask? Can I ask a bottle?
You can ask whenever you want to.
Okay,
Like if you feel like you're there, you may as well.
This feels like it's so dark, so it can't be this. But I'm going to ask anyways. Is it Maker's Cask?
It is Maker's Cask Strength.
Hey!
You're 6 questions in.
Boom!
This is 2306.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Once you said not this particular release, I knew
that was a
down.
dead giveaway. Yeah. Like I felt like I had to be honest with that one.
Yeah,
that
right.
was my.
I appreciate that. Otherwise, the wheels would have been turning for days, and then when you show it, I would have been like, "You little." I would have been so bad.
It would have been like when Akinator, and you do. Do you know that it's the online like genie guessing game?
Oh
thing?
Yeah.
And it's like you try to do like my best friend's dad, and
yeah,
and like it eventually gets it, but it takes like 40 questions to get there.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
All right.
My turn. Kyle.
Yes.
Would I have to travel greater than 100 miles to reach this distillery? From where I am currently located.
Let me see. No.
Okay. Does this distillery have more than one recipe for their main products?
Yes.
Is this product part of a line that is mostly known for being finished or unfinished?
No.
That's not the question I asked. Okay, let me ask it again.
Yeah,
is this... What do you mean? I said finished or unfinished, and you said no.
You said you made it sound like a yes or no question.
Okay.
No, I get what you're saying. I still think no.
Okay.
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 I don't think either of those apply.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay. So my third or my fourth?
That was your third.
Okay, cool.
Right? Because distance. What was that? Just yeah, you had distance, and then what was your second one? Oh my god,
I don't even remember it. This. What was my second question?
this is going really well.
This is going great. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we know for sure that I've asked 3 questions.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Sure. Why not? Yeah. Would you be more inclined to drink this during the fall and winter months?
Yes.
Does this come from the what is known as the bourbon capital of the world?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, you narrowed it down quite a bit there.
Okay. Are there strict definitions as to what this whiskey has to fall under for it to be called this type of whiskey?
Come on, man. Yes.
Is this Rittenhouse Bottled and Bond?
No.
Dang it. Okay.
And that counts as the 7th question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thought I had it.
Oh, man.
Shoot, now I don't know any other ryes that are bottled and bond. Crap.
Why you narrow it to that?
That's just where my brain has gone at this point.
Oh. All right. Yeah,
I have
sure.
dug myself in an inimitable hole.
You can stay there if you want that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, if you really like where you're at right now.
No, I kind of don't. I kind of don't, which is real bad.
Just reconsider the 2 questions you just asked and how you asked them.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I know this is gonna. I'm like wasting this question, but was there an act that was passed to define the process in which this whiskey was bottled?
No.
Okay.
So, no.
Okay.
For the reasons of why you're asking, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an age statement?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. It would be really interesting if it were this.
Shoot your shot, King.
I would be very surprised if you had this, and it would be very surprising if this is what you poured for yourself. But is this Basil Hayden?
No. That's a pretty good guess, though.
Okay.
I like where you're heading.
That was my 10th. That was my 10th question.
Yeah. But that's also in Claremont, not Bardstown.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Still close, but I know I hit too many different points, but
so this is
is it Elijah Craig?
See, that's what I thought you would have guessed.
Yeah.
But it's not that either. It is from the Willett Distillery in Bardstown, Nelson County, Kentucky. 50.5% alcohol, 101 proof. It is Johnny Drum.
Oh, Johnny Drum. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it used to be age stated.
Yeah.
And it's not. Or, yeah. So
That's a great pull.
Yeah. It's a fun little.
I would have struggled to get there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going to get there with the multiple mash bills thing. I was like,
yeah, I also was. Oh, that was my second question.
There it is. Yeah. Yep. We got there. See, we got there.
I got to start. Okay, here's how we learn, folks. I have to start writing these down.
Yeah,
because
I wrote
apparently
mine down.
I have the memory of a goldfish.
Me too. You got two dummies here trying to host a podcast. It's not going to go well.
As I always say, I'm an idiot with a podcast. But anyway, Kyle Weibert, what have you been drinking recently?
Not too much actually. I've had some friends send over some samples recently. So I've gotten to try some of Bikey's Blue due to Josh, his friend, who is now by proxy my friend. So he sent over all of the releases that he's put out so far. So the OG Bikey's Blue, the second one, and the Double Oaked. And I blinded those, so that was really fun.
And which one was your favorite?
I think I like Batch 2 more than the other two. However,
interesting.
So I'm not the biggest Double Oak fan in general, especially when it's like sub 8-year stuff. Typically, it just becomes too not artificial oak, but like that kind of realm of overly dry oak. Typically for me, at least.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And it's not as rounded out.
Yeah.
I think the pour itself is great, and if you're trying to crush, it's great for that. But if I'm sitting on it, the finish kind of dries me out a bit too much, so I need a sip of water. But I still like it. I still like it a ton. And then the first release it's really soft and friendly. That's a summer crusher. That's something you go outside on the boat while you're fishing, whatever you guys do when you're outdoors. That's that guy. And then the Batch 2 just kind of it took what the OG did and just bumped it up slightly. It just brought a little bit more of everything, and that's kind of why I chose it. So yeah, it was really awesome. That's what I've had this week. What about you?
Well, I've documented most of what I've been drinking via social media because I have been out of the country for my sister-in-law's wedding, which is why last week's episode of the podcast was a week late and a week and a day late. And I apologize for that. And I apologize to Kyle, too, for that episode. His debut episode being pushed back so much.
We just built up anticipation is all.
We finally got there. But I just was like, I need some downtime and I need to, focus on what I'm actually doing in the moment instead of, burying myself in a computer. And I'll be honest, it was nice to take a break for a little while. But I think people have really enjoyed that episode. And we've gotten some good response so far too, to having a co-host back on the show. And we're going to, of course, keep that energy up. I just got a severe pain in my neck out of nowhere.
I think
I'm
me.
being hit with
I popped up, so now I'm his big pain in the neck.
I think I'm being hit with the Havana syndrome, right?
Oh yeah.
Out of nowhere. Yeah. It's because I talked about Cuba on my live stream for all of 5 minutes the other night.
I didn't set you up on that or anything.
No. You know what? I appreciated you doing that, though. That was it was good to talk about that for
it's important and topical.
It is, and if people want my thoughts on that, go check out the live stream. I'm not going to get into it too much here now, other than just to say that what is happening there is extremely aggressive, and to imply that it is their government that is starving them is inaccurate, and it's yeah. Yeah, go find my full thoughts on last week's live stream. Anyway, so we were in Colombia. That was my first time in South America, too. I absolutely adored it. Basically got right off the plane and headed to my now brother-in-law's family farm, where I was greeted with a beer that was a Colombian beer. It's called Club Colombia. And that was like my beer of the week. That was basically what I drank the entire time I was down there. They had a Pilsner and I think it was a lager. I think I posted that as well. And I only had the lager once, but the Pilsner is what I drank for the most part throughout the week.
Did you prefer it over the lager?
I know. Oh, it was an amber lager. Yeah, I actually preferred the lager just because it had a little bit more body to it. Sure. But the Pilsner was just so refreshing and crushable that.
So would you say it's closer to like an American style Pilsner versus like a Czech Pilsner?
Yes, okay. But it was slightly maltier than most American Pilsners. I feel like American Pilsners are just so they're so watery. I feel like in most cases 100%. to the point of like they're just meant for quick consumption, wherein this was like, yes, you are drinking it because you're trying to just drink beer, but at the same time you're trying to actually enjoy it because it is good beer. It's that balance between and I think that you get this same feeling when you're drinking aguardiente, which is their liquor, their I guess the liquor that they are most known for in Colombia too, which is made from sugarcane, and it's extremely low proof. I think the ABV is 24, at least the one that we drank while we were down there, and it's made specifically so that you can just like sip on it or shoot it, and you can just kind of keep going throughout the night, or mix it with whatever. And I mean, it's just you like I'm saying that you want to kind of feel like you're still drinking something, but not necessarily get bogged down with drinking a whole lot, or
for sure. And that's a clear spirit, right?
It is. Yeah. And it leans more towards like as far as like a flavor profile, licorice, which
so maybe more. It's because I always think of like when you talk sugarcane distilled spirits, you always first think about rum, right?
Right.
But I would assume this is probably closer to that cachaça style.
It 100%
single run,
and
then it's proof down from that single run.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would assume so. I don't fully know the back end on how it is actually made, distilled, all that. I would like to do a deeper dive into it, especially just because I spent most of my time just drinking it and enjoying it, as opposed to educating myself. But on the American spirit side of things, because my sister-in-law was marrying a Colombian man, they wanted to bring a piece of Kentucky down to the wedding with them as well. And so everybody from Kentucky was tasked with bringing a handle or two of Jim Beam White Label down to the wedding. And so we all packed up some Beam White Label in our suitcases, and I had a little bit of free space in mine, and I was like, well, I'll just put a bottle of Knob Creek Single Barrel and Turkey 101 and that was at our
Predictable.
Airbnb. Yeah,
Predictable.
What are you gonna do? I wasn't
No, I
trying
love
to I do anything too crazy while we were down there, and I mean it got the job done, and people were happy about it. But it was funny though, because we were at a much higher altitude down there than we used to in Lexington, and so the first couple of nights, it's like trying to figure out that balance. And it's like, oh, I can't, consume as much alcohol because one drink feels like two and two feels like four. And, you gotta, pace yourself a lot more or you're gonna. So anyway, regardless, it was a really good time. I think I'm gonna, so I talked about this video I recorded, this bonus episode I recorded about my trip down to Atlanta, and I have not had the chance to get it out yet. I think I'm going to do the same and maybe even split it into two parts, documenting a little bit more of my trip down to Colombia as well, so I could go into a little bit more detail on just kind of the food I ate and the drinks that I had, because there was a rum that I had as well that I haven't even talked about, that was incredible. But I want to take some more time and dive into that. So, and it'll be I was thinking about this too while we were traveling, and I don't travel a whole lot anymore, but at least have like a travel log side series baked into some of what I do with the show.
I feel like I could also provide some content over the years.
100%,
since
100%.
I'll be traveling over to Japan, so we could probably come up with some pretty cool stuff. So
that would be so much fun.
Yeah,
I'd love that. We'll send you over to the Family Mart and get you some, fammy chickies.
Yeah, I'll be over at the 7-Eleven picking up those egg sandos.
Yeah.
And we'll post that on Corking Off and on Tim Bep.
Yeah. I love it. Well, let's go ahead and move into our review for the week, which is Short Barrel Four Grain, a 92 proof corn, rye, wheat, and malted barley Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey that, sourced from Wilderness Trail and Green River. And you might be saying, Perry, why on earth are you just calling out exactly where this is from? And I'll tell you why. Because on the fact sheet that they sent, it just daggum outright says it.
Yeah, and so also I wanted to make sure that this wasn't just like propaganda that they sent out. Okay, that sounds aggressive, but
I know what you mean, though.
I wanted to make sure that this wasn't just something that they sent out to media. So I went on their website and I looked at their 4 grain, and then they have a place where I could click on the like a link to see more information, and it was exactly that label, or that poster. So
really,
from their website, you could click on this more information, and they had that. So I'm assuming, as a consumer, they somehow got to say that this is Wilderness Trail and Green River blended together, and not just those two. They say Green River rye 70-21-9. They tell you the exact mash bill, and then they tell you the exact mash bill of the Wilderness Trail, which is the 64-20 or something, I believe.
Now, to be fair, though, it doesn't say anywhere on the bottle.
Maybe I'm just guessing on that, but
I mean, no. It's not so much the matter of the mash bills. To me, it's more of like, they can put this on their website, they can put this on the flyer that they send out and everything, but it's interesting that they're not putting it on the bottle. So it's curious to me, like, how much permission do they actually have to
if you pay
divulge?
for that, you'd brag about that on the
label, right? Yeah. So this was also sent to us by the distillery. So we're We're not being paid by them to review it or anything. Honest thoughts. We're going to let you know exactly how we feel about this. I also wanted to bring up the derived mash bill.
Yeah, this is interesting.
From this too. 65 corn, 20 wheat, 12 malted barley, and 3 rye. And it's non-chill filtered as well. So
they really only use like 2 to 3 barrels per, if that. Probably it's a 10-to-1 ratio at least. You know.
One of those trails just trying to get rid of their barrels, and Green River's like, we got to hold on to the, Did you happen to see, because this was the one part of it that I failed to recollect, but did you happen to see? No, I was gonna say the price, and actually,
$39.99.
There we go. And it's 4 to 5 year old wheated bourbon.
4 to 5.
And
I think 6-year Green River. I think. I don't know.
Well, everywhere's just saying 4 to 5 year old Kentucky whiskey.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. So we'll roll with just 4 to 5.
And a secondary aging in our hometown of Atlanta, Georgia.
You can say that. Yeah.
But is that implying double barreling?
No, I don't think it's implying double barreling. I think it's suggesting double terroir. Oh gosh, I just
okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Someone's gonna come out with a double terroir barrel. This is terrible. No, don't do that. If you're a company out there and you're thinking about it, please don't. But it would be kind of funny.
Well, I mean, it makes sense in context, but like it's unnecessary marketing. Like,
kind of. I think it's super important to the people that are around the distillery, and they lean into that. Kind of like Colorado. Colorado people love Colorado whiskey, even if it's not like necessarily made by them, but it's been aged there, and so I would think the same thing about Short Barrel, and they're fans, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, double aged. Why not? Extra aging in and around the Atlanta area.
This is also the first product from Short Barrel that we have reviewed on the podcast, so we are diving right into it. But Kyle, what do you think about the nose here?
I think it's all right, or it's pretty good. I'm getting like definitely corn up front, and then I'm getting like bubblegum, which is odd. Maybe like juicy fruit, or like a strawberry gum too. Maybe zebra stripes. That's probably where I'm going, like the zebra stripes from way back in the day.
Yeah, the most important thing is that we find the brand of bubblegum.
That's right.
More than anything. I am finding this very slight hint of baking spices just in like the back end. But I think you hit the nail on the head that this like dominant bubblegum note, which does not make any sense to me at all.
It's yeah.
It's so unique. It's so of itself. And
yeah,
I don't know what's going on here at all. Having just had the 4 grain double oak from Buzzard's Roost, which I was not a fan of. Sorry. This immediately feels more complete, though, at least on the nose. Whereas the Buzzard's Roost just didn't seem to quite have its footing at all. This at least smells like bourbon.
It definitely smells like bourbon. It smells like 4 to 5 year old bourbon for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's dive in.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's bubblegum.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's a touch of oak now that I didn't get. It's either that or that 3% of rye that's kind of hitting the back of the palate.
Yeah.
Um, Overall, it's a super soft, inviting bourbon. It's friendly enough. It does have that little bit of a bite on the back end, though, and I'm trying to figure out what that is because I don't think it's the proof, obviously, right? Because we're at 92 proof, so that's not
Yeah.
what's hitting.
No, I think it's just that dissipation of ethanol more than
Yeah,
anything, because it's not really. I think yeah, it's not really introducing or inviting anything one way or another, but it does kind of go through this process of like there are some there's like a corn muffin
yeah,
in there, but overall it just kind of like coats with like the dusty kind of big league chew
yeah.
note on the palate. The finish is pretty tame. I would say that it doesn't really seem to go anywhere. Um,
Yeah, I think it kind of it disappears fairly quickly.
yeah,
Which I think the front of the palate would suggest that it would anyways, because it's very, I don't want to say flat, but it is a very
one or
soft
two note.
whiskey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what strikes me the most about this is it would benefit from more age and higher proof. Like even if it doesn't have more age on it, I think the proof could easily bump this up to a you know it
Yeah,
feeling more
maybe.
aggressive.
I think I would, for me personally, I would insert more of those 21%
Yeah,
rye bourbons into it to add complexity. I don't think
yeah,
it's the proof
I
or
agree.
the age. I think it's just
Fair.
the style. However, that's just my opinion. Uh, I could see someone coming to this and saying, I just need a simple, easy, crushable bourbon.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
for sure.
and I think that's where it delivers.
Yeah. Yeah. I do feel like as well that that there is a time and a place for this, and it could be that it's Sunday afternoon, Saturday afternoon when the the game is on, or you're just hanging out on the back porch or whatever. But um, as far as like a sipping whiskey, I don't know if this really falls under that category either. If that tracks.
No, I don't really think so either. I mean, I could see it. Like, I think if you're just starting out and you got your Weller Special Reserve and you got your makers, this could kind of slot in there for you
Yeah.
to kind of add a new nuance because maybe this has a little bit more of that prickle from the
Yeah.
Green River barrels versus the other two. But I don't know. I think yeah, that's where I would go if you're starting out and you found yourself into weeded bourbons. This would be worth a shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you on that. I don't really have, funny enough, much else to say about this. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm gonna suggest we go right into the review
Okay.
of nose, palate, finish, and price, with each category being out of 5 and a final score out of 20. So, Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
what would you give the nose
The
on,
nose is my
on
favorite
this guy?
part. I'll say overall, the nose is my favorite part. We'll give it a solid 3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I'm being
um,
I could be talked down to a 3 if I'm being real. I don't know. I think I was being. I don't want to be that. I would say yeah. Let's go 3. I'm with you
yeah,
on that.
yeah. It's it's not taking me Why did I want to say it's not taking me over the rainbow? That's the strangest phrasing I could have
say
possibly
it.
come.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
it's not taking him over the rainbow. He's just there. He's made it to it, but not on the edge because he hasn't seen the leprechaun or the pot of gold.
I'm just still in Kansas. I was just still in Kansas, you know, everything's still kind of black and white. But I mean, it is still inviting. It still does kind of pique my curiosity. I'm wondering what's going to happen here. But yeah, it's just not, it's not pushing me too far. I would say, honestly, the palate is kind of on par. For me there, I am with you though. I could be talked down.
Yeah, I'm at a 2.5 on the palate.
I think that's fair. I'm gonna stick with a 3 though. I think they're pretty equal. It's interesting enough, but it's not like it's not making waves. For me in the same way. So 3 for me, 2.5 for you. Finishes. It's not even that it's like rough. It's just like there's nothing. Like
it's fast acting to acting. Boom. So like it's super short. It doesn't suggest that I should hang around with it too long. It's telling me I need to have another sip to get that flavor. So for me, we're pretty low on this. I think it's like 1.52.
I'm actually at a 1.5 as well. Yeah, that was exactly where I was going with it. $40 a bottle. I don't hate the price. I really don't. This is where for me the value and price category kind of like blur the lines a little bit, where like, you know, is this a bottle that I would maybe, you know, pick up once and then never again? I mean, potentially, but at the same time, you know, I'm curious what this would do in cocktails. I'm curious how people who you know, might be, as we kind of alluded to on the, you know, earlier in their bourbon journey side of things, would find it. But at the same time, it's really not a bad pour overall. No. It's just
I would say honestly, like this would be a great whiskey sour.
Oh, for sure.
I think I love wheated bourbons. Me and My Daily Bourbon agree on this, that we both use specifically wheated bourbons for sours. So I think he and I would crush a whole bottle of this, make a pre-made sour mix, go out. Yeah, I think this would do great for that. And I want to make another point that for 4 to 5 year wheated Wilderness Trail at $40 is a fairly fair price.
Yeah. So 100%.
I for me, if we're going to give that a number, I'll give it a 3.5, maybe 4.
I'm giving it a 3.5 as well. I think it's you know, it's pretty on par with the other versions of this that are on the market. The only difference is I feel like what you get that is already on the market from these distilleries individually might be a slightly better version of them. You know, there. And not to say that there isn't, you know, value in what kind of feels like ostensibly an experiment in this case, but at the same time, you know, I do still feel like, you know, you could spend $40 on just Green River or $40 on just Wilderness Trail and have just as good of, or even in some cases better of an experience. You know, sure. Like, and again, that's subjective. You might have your own opinions. I'm curious for the people who have tried this, what you think. And this could be, something that people vehemently disagree with us
You nailed
on.
it.
Thank you. I got there eventually.
First try.
I really had to like stretch it out from my vocal cords.
Long necking it.
Yeah, vehemently. But it's not. It again just is not like bad. It just is kind of like I'm wanting more from it. I think I'm in agreement with you too that the balance could be a little bit more dialed in, I suppose. But at the same time, it could just be that that's our own perspective as opposed to what they were really going for with this. So our final scores here. Let me do this math real quick.
I got a 10.5.
Well, that means I got an 11
for me. Yeah, because we were only different on
the palate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that that's kind of like in the lower range of like recommendations. I would still just be curious what people think about this. This might be, if we're going by like the podcast rankings of Buy Bar Pass, this might be more of like a get a pour of it at a bar, see what you think about it. Or if there's an open bottle like at a liquor store or something, try it there. There's some liquor stores that do that.
Sometimes some brands go around and they're going to do pours for you if they're at your local liquor store and
Tasting
they're doing
events,
pours. Yeah. Don't say no. Go try it. At the very least, that's your introduction to Short Barrel, and then you can dig deeper into their portfolio and find something that you really love.
100%. I mean, because they have single barrels too.
Definitely. Yeah,
and some of the single barrels
slightly like super hyped legendary hazmat barrels that we've seen around. Those 375s. So they've got stuff for people out there.
I've had a couple of those single barrels too, and they, genuinely are incredible. I like not to go like, well, buy this over that or whatever. But I mean, it's also hard to say, go on the hunt for these single barrels because they're not necessarily just sitting around. I mean, you folks know that anyway, but everybody's.
But they've got those bee's knees and they've got the double oats. So go look for them. Go try them. You might fall in love with those. So it's worth a shot.
Yeah. We have no barrel rings this week. But if you want to submit one, you can do so. It's our section of the show that you submit voicemails or text messages for. The number is 859-428-8253. Do it right from your mobile device. That felt very like mid to early aughts, and we're on like American Idol. Something.
Call the toll-free number and vote for Adam Lambert.
Carrier rates may apply. But it's entirely listener-driven, viewer-driven. Numbers below, of course, in the description. But we'll listen to your voicemails, read your text messages out here on air, and check all that out. But we appreciate everybody who does submit stuff. High Proof Hot Takes, though, it's our next segment of the show where we gripe about things that have been bugging us. Kyle, anything that's been grinding your gears since I last saw you?
No, this week was a week of positivity. I didn't hear one spew of 99.1, so everything's been very positive.
Kyle, are you pro or anti leaning your seat back on flights?
I believe if these planes were designed properly, leaning back should not be an issue. Therefore, I believe that you should be able to lean back because it's designed to do so. However, if they don't give you enough room and it's designed improperly, I believe it's on the airplane's fault and it shouldn't be on the person sitting in front of you.
Okay. I am in favor of that statement. I think once you hit like a 747 and up, that's when it starts to get slightly more comfortable to lean your seat back. Anything under a 747, absolutely do not do that, because once you start leaning your seat back, it starts this wave of people who have to all lean their seats back. And say you have small children with you, and they're already prone to, I don't know, move their feet around because they don't have full motor control of their bodies. And they just want to kind of, kick their feet, I'm not saying that this is the person in front of me. I'm not saying that that's their fault for wanting to be more comfortable and leaning their seat back and everything. I will say, though, there was one point in a flight where this was the flight out of Medellin, Colombia, where we had not eaten yet during the day. My wife had gotten us both chicken wraps, and I had a bag of lime flavored chips that I had been saving, and I put it on the tray in front of me, and just barely was it in between the tray table and the seat. And the gentleman who was sitting in the seat in front of me leaned his chair back and absolutely decimated the bag of chips that I had been saving for for this flight. And I just silently had a breakdown. I couldn't be like, "Sir, please move your seat up." I've got to try to salvage my chips. But anyway,
it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm okay.
Yeah,
it's just
trying to show.
All while you're just so angry, but you gotta.
I think that guy's having an aneurysm.
Someone call someone.
He's gonna get thrown off this flight. Do we have any parachutes left on board? Anyway, tips and bits, things we've been watching, reading, listening to, enjoying that we also want folks to check out. That we think might enrich their lives. Kyle, what do you have to recommend to people this week?
I think you're going to see a theme. It's always going to be music at this point.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I think the most exciting thing right now, for me personally, is that a band called Don Broco released a song with Nickelback called Nightmare Tripping, and it's absolutely fire. It's crazy. I don't know. Even if you're not a Nickelback fan, you are a Nickelback fan. You just don't want to admit it. So you should check it out because it's super sick. So go check that out. Don Broco featuring Nickelback, Nightmare Tripping.
So I've always been a big fan of the NPR Tiny Desk concerts.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're such a fun distilled experience for displaying musicians' talents and just showcasing in 20 to 30 minutes what makes them special in one regard or another. Off the heels of course, Super Bowl 60. A lot of people flocked to the Bad Bunny Tiny Desk concert, which if you haven't watched yet, I think is phenomenal. Not just the Super Bowl halftime show, but also his Tiny Desk concert. And I somehow had not watched Sabrina Carpenter's yet. I thought hers was just fun and highly entertaining. But that also somehow sent me to the Billy Strings Tiny Desk concert. I already love Billy and think he's just one of the current masters of guitar playing, and probably is he's in a weird space where he has maybe 5 years before he's going to reach some kind of mainstream success somehow. I think that he's teetering on that where people recognize him and they know his name, but he hasn't had and people know Gilda Lily. They know that he's collaborated with artists before, but they don't know him necessarily for what he can do. And I truly think that he's gonna have a moment sooner than later. That's going to push
so.
him.
He's sick.
And he's incredible.
He's insane. Seriously,
and
if you haven't seen him play, go watch
100%
play. He is insane.
And
especially all on acoustic. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
insane.
100%. And it's not even to say that like his because he every now and then will play electric, but that's mostly when he's like sitting in with other bands. But
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you watch,
like,
the majority of what he does when you see him on the internet is with an acoustic, and it's just it's nuts. I've never seen anyone just do what he does the way he does it. So go check him out.
And that's why I recommend checking out Tiny Desk concerts too.
Yeah,
because again, like, it is the most like pronounced experience for listening to artists that you've never seen before in their most like
most vulnerable state.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of in the way that like, and it's not that people don't respect Austin City Limits as an institution anymore, but I think that Tiny Desk concerts are the new Austin City Limits, where you have to really hone in on a set list for a very, very confined 20 to 30 minutes or an hour in the way Austin City Limits is. But my kid is upset. We'll get out of here in just a second.
Yeah.
But the last one I'll recommend too, and it even though it should have brought me to tears, it didn't, because he told me not to. But Bob Weir, Bob Weir's Tiny Desk concert, I had never seen before. I don't know how. And I watched it right before bed the other night, and I started getting emotional. And he sings the line, "Don't cry now, dry your eyes on the wind." And I was like, all right, Bobby, I'm good.
So you ran outside.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very windy night. You got it.
I do as you say, Bobby.
Yeah. But yeah, Tiny Desk concerts in general are
they're very
amazing.
Fun.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, it's a good episode.
Yeah, it was
just a little under an hour. We've had a couple of behemoths recently that people are, probably craving the shorter ones. So with Kyle on board, we're gonna see where the wind blows, I suppose. But
see if we can distill it down a bit.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
where can people find you on social media, Kyle?
You can now find me at Corking Off everywhere.
It's the saying it out loud that really sends me.
I like it.
Yeah. But if you want to find the show, it is at My Bourbon Pod. If you want to follow me personally, I'm at pritter1792. If you want to support the show, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. From $5 and up, you get all sorts of bonus content every single daggum week. I'll be doing the Patreon stuff on my own this week because Kyle and I are under some time constraints this weekend, but don't you worry about that. It's going to be great. There's going to be no problem. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. I apologize. I'll put in a sound effect there. I'll put in a sound effect. Yeah. I did just apropos of nothing. Audio listeners are going to have no idea what's going on, but that's mostly a visual joke. Anyway,
it's your little treat, YouTube.
Yeah. You can send questions or comments to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com if you have them. We've gotten a bunch of weird, bizarre, like, interview requests through the email recently. People asking if I want to read their books. I don't know why.
Sure.
But yeah, keep sending me that stuff, I guess.
I read.
Probably not going to respond to it. You can also find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. T-shirts, hats, stickers, skateboards, notebooks, throw rugs, stuff like that.
Yeah, if you
Good-
kickflip
good
with
stuff.
one of those skateboards, let us know.
Well, Chad's done it.
Yeah?
Yeah, My Daily Bourbon has a Timbip skateboard.
Well, we need to see him shred the gnar.
Yeah. I'm gonna lose my mind.
This is my request today. I want to see My Daily Bourbon do My Daily Shred. I want to see him shred a Timbit board to infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear style.
I love it so much. No sentence has ever sent me into orbit quite in the way that has.
Hey, way to stay topical.
Yeah. What else? We have a PO Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky 40522. If you have stuff that you want to send to us to try, whether it's samples or bottles or merch, snail mail, whatever, that's the best way to get it sent to us. Barrel rings, of course, as we said before, 859-428-8253. Text messages, voicemails, send it all over there. And then last but not least, leave a 5-star rating and review on your podcast app of choice. We'll read it out here on the show. Check it out. We appreciate it. And I believe that does it. Next week, I don't know yet. I have no idea what's going to happen next week. But that does it. Kyle, thank you as always.
Thank you.
See you next time. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Kyle.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.